Okay, think about this for a second. Have you ever just put on a song and boom, your whole mood just shifts?
Absolutely.
Or maybe a tune comes on and you're right back there, you know? A specific moment, a feeling.
Yeah, happens all the time.
Music isn't just background noise, is it? It feels, well, much deeper. Like it's baked into who we are as humans, an ancient thing.
It really is.
So today, we're going to dig into something I find really compelling. The power music has, specifically how it impacts our mental well-being. We're looking at some great insights, mainly from psychiatry.org, to try and unpack how sound really influences our emotions, maybe even our identity, how it helps us heal, connect, all of that.
And it's fascinating because it goes way beyond just, I like this song.
Right.
The research backs up these really profound effects on our minds. Things that might genuinely surprise you, maybe some real aha moments about your own relationship with music.
Okay, so where do we start? Maybe with ourselves. The source mentions music shaping personal, even cultural identities, like it's part of who we are.
Exactly. It's fundamental. And that links directly to mood. You mentioned that 2022 review.
Yeah, the one on music therapy and stress.
That's the one. It pulled together a lot of studies and found basically a clear beneficial effect on stress.
How does that work, though, roughly?
Well, it suggests that engaging with music, actively or passively, can help us regulate our moods, maybe by affecting physiological things, heart rate, cortisol levels, that kind of thing.
Interesting.
And it gets broader, the potential seems huge. It's even being looked at for serious mental health conditions, substance use disorders, as a complementary tool, of course.
That's pretty wide-ranging. And thinking beyond just us, how does music connect us to the world? You mentioned culture.
Yeah, it's a powerful way music can amplify diversity and inclusion.
Oh, so?
Often, it's our first real taste of another culture, right, through its sound. And it gives a voice, a platform, to communities that maybe haven't always been heard. So just by listening, exploring different genres, we can kind of absorb a deeper appreciation for diverse communities, sometimes without even consciously trying.
That makes sense, that idea of understanding and connection. It leads right into healing, doesn't it?
It does.
The source talks about music therapy and importantly calls it evidence-based.
Which is key.
Yeah, and it brings up a tough point. How historically excluded groups, racial minorities, sexual minorities, people with disabilities, face more systemic injustice, more trauma-like discrimination.
Right, which puts them at higher risk, sadly, for things like anxiety, depression.
So where does music therapy fit into tackling that kind of deep-seated trauma?
Well, it creates this safe, structured space. It's crucial. A space to process difficult experiences and build resilience.
And the evidence supports this.
Oh, yeah. The research shows it helps lower anxiety, improves functioning for people dealing with depression. It's a real therapeutic intervention.
So not just listening, but specific activities.
Exactly. Things like drumming circles are a great example, or maybe collaborative songwriting, group singing.
What do those activities do?
They offer a way to express emotions, sometimes complex ones, without words, which can be huge. They encourage self-reflection and, really importantly, foster a sense of community, belonging.
And this is happening in places like schools, hospitals.
Yes, it's being integrated more and more, making it accessible, which is fantastic.
That sense of community, it feels like it scales up, right? Beyond just the therapy room, music as a force for, like, collective change.
Absolutely, it has a massive history there. Social advocacy.
How does that work? How does a song mobilize people?
Well, think about artists from marginalized communities. They've always used music as this incredibly potent way to highlight social issues.
Like what kind of issues?
Oh, racial inequality, gender discrimination, LGBTQ+ rights, you name it. Music becomes a way to challenge injustice, to rally people. It's not just art then, it's activism.
Giving voice to experience.
Precisely. Articulating unique struggles, triumphs, creating these shared stories that people connect with deeply.
Are there specific genres known for this?
Definitely. I mean, hip-hop, reggae, jazz, blues, R&B, folk. So many genres have been vital channels for marginalized voices to reclaim their narratives, push back against norms, build solidarity.
And has it actually worked? Like real-world impact?
History says yes. Think about the civil rights movement. The songs were central, right?
Absolutely. Anthems.
Yeah. Same with feminism, LGBTQ+ rights movements. Music mobilizes, energizes. When artists engage, they bring their fans along, make them feel connected to the cause.
Inspire them to act, maybe?
Could be. And even just listening, being exposed to different artists, different sounds, can broaden your perspective, challenge stereotypes, foster empathy, especially if you're experiencing it together, like dancing or something.
Yeah, that shared experience, it does break down walls, doesn't it? We've all felt that at a gig or just singing along with friends. How does music actually boost that, what did you call it? Pro-social behavior.
Yeah, pro-social behavior, basically. Actions that help others. There's growing evidence music enhances that. And it definitely promotes social connection, helps develop emotional competence, too.
More than just liking the same band.
Much more.
Yeah.
That shared experience fosters real bonds, a sense of belonging to something.
And communities are using this intentionally.
They are, through things like community music programs, choirs, music education initiatives.
Creating inclusive spaces.
Exactly. Spaces where diverse people connect through music. And the result, more social cohesion, less loneliness, stronger support networks. All good things for well-being.
Okay, so music heals, connects, empowers. But then the source throws us a curveball, this paradox.
Ah, yes. The finding about musicians themselves.
Right. That musicians, the very people creating this healing medium, might be at higher risk for mental health issues. That feels counterintuitive.
It really does. But the data is quite striking. One survey, 1,500 independent musicians, found 73% reported symptoms of mental illness. 73%.
Wow.
Well, partly it's likely the job itself. The instability, the pressure, touring, isolation. It's physically and psychologically demanding.
Sure, I can see that.
But there's another layer. Research from the Max Planck Institute in Germany suggests there might be a genetic link. That people who are musically active might have a slightly higher genetic predisposition for depression and bipolar disorder.
Whoa. So not that music causes it.
No, not at all. It's more complex, like an interplay between perhaps a predisposition and the unique stresses of that life.
That's a lot to think about. But the positive side of this, maybe, is how artists are talking about it now.
Yes, that's been huge. Seeing major artists Adele, Alanis Morissette, Ariana Grande, Billie Eilish, Kendrick Lamar, Kid Cudi, Demi Lovato, so many openly sharing their struggles.
Talking about postpartum depression, suicidal thoughts, really difficult things.
Incredibly brave. And it makes such a difference. It chips away at the stigma, normalizes the conversation around mental health.
Makes it okay to not be okay and to seek help.
Exactly. There's a great quote from Dr. Regina James at the APA. She basically says, share your story, share your song, and let's help each other normalize the conversation around mental wellness through the influence of music.
Share your song. I like that.
Their authenticity is incredibly powerful.
Okay, wow. We've covered a lot of ground. From music shaping us individually, helping heal trauma,
to sparking social change, building community.
Yeah, and even this complex picture of musicians' own mental health, but how their honesty is actually helping everyone.
It really shows music isn't just entertainment, is it? It's this vital tool for wellness, for empathy, for connection. Its impact is just undeniable.
Absolutely. So thinking about all this, music's power to heal, to connect, maybe a final thought for you listening. What's a song or maybe an artist that helps you navigate your own world, your own mental landscape? And what might that tell you about music's power in your own life?